Oh my god! Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I am playing Broodweaver, my Strand Warlock. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown, my first impressions of the aspects and the grenades, the melee, and the super on this subclass. So let's go ahead and dive into the grenades first. For those that didn't take a look at my Hunter or my Titan video, some of the basics here with the grapple is you can obviously grapple to a target and melee immediately for some damage. Oh wow, I didn't know you could. Whoa, that's actually something new that I did not see on the other characters, so we'll talk more about that. That's cool. Anyways, so you can take this tangle, throw it across, and also use it for grappling. It will send you further than just a regular grapple. Here's a quick little glimpse of the range of the grapple. And you're not a hunter, so you do not make permanent grapple points. But one thing to notice, if a hunter, either on your team or the enemy team, doesn't matter, makes grapple points in the air, you can actually use those to your advantage. Now, another cool interaction here that people were really hyped about to see in the trailer was obviously the grapple poking onto the Thundercrash Titan. And there's some movement tech at the top end of the gameplay called Shatter Skate or Well Skating, and you can actually grapple onto that. So on the count of go, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you hook onto a target. If you can learn how to do this tech for your teammates, they can grapple with you different parts of the map. Maybe you can do some crazy movement tech in PvP. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1, go. Whee! All right. So there you have it. Now, when it comes to the grenades, we also get one called the Shackle Grenade. This one states that you throw a weighted strand matter that detonates on impact, suspending targets, creating additional suspending sub-projectiles. So the easiest way to understand this grenade is, all it really does is suspend a target. Go ahead, Tick, throw it at me. Suspense. Oh. There you go. So when you're suspended, you can't really move. You're stuck in third person, so that means you can't aim down sights. The damage against you is normal. The damage you dish out is normal. But keep in mind, you're in the air, so that means your airborne effectiveness stat will be, suffering. Of course, you will need that. And you have to hit fire your shots, which means you probably won't be as accurate as you wish. And the last one is a threadling grenade. So this one quite literally just spawns 3 little threadlings that rush at you, and they have crazy tracking. Go ahead and throw it at me, Tig. So as you can see, these guys are tracking. They are quite smart creatures as they can jump at you even if you go in the air, and they do a little bit of damage. So make sure you keep an eye on that HP bar. Tig, go ahead and throw them at me again. So you can actually shoot these quite easily just with an auto rifle. Something to keep in mind, if you're at the top end of the PvP and you're kind of scared that these guys are going to probably do crazy damage against you, well, worry not. It looks like Bungie learned their lesson against, things like the Axiom Bolts problems in the past, and they made these ones quite easy to kill. In my opinion, maybe too easy to kill. These would be quite fun at that lower end of the game. So that pretty much covers the grenades. Let's take a look at the Weaver's Call, saying cast a rift to weave 3 threadlings and deploy any threadlings you have perched. So first we're going to just cast a rift and see how this works. And as you can see, they very much behave just like the grenades. They do the similar damage. So that's pretty consistent in that regard. Now, another thing that it did mention was that any perched threadlings on you will also attack. And that takes us to the next subclass, the Mind Spun Invocation. This is where the Warlock gets enhanced versions of the grenade. So for the grapple, you spawn 3 threadling eggs. So let's go ahead and consume this. Let's go ahead and do that again. That's actually really, really cool. That kind of gives you a one-shot kill, doesn't it? That doesn't one-shot on other characters, but that immediately goes into that guy. And then the little nanites almost attack the next target. On top of that, you have the tangle. So if you don't understand the tangle, it almost breaks the enemy shields. We already showcased that you can throw it. You can shoot it and it does the same damage. Enemy team can shoot it as well. Here's a showcase of how much damage it does. You can tell the blast radius from where these targets are standing at. So, quite effective in my opinion. Let's go ahead and test out that grapple melee once again. That seems really epic. The Warlock, the Hunter nor the Titan can actually do that combo. So those are the threadlings, and they go attack. Wow, wow, wow. That is really, really awesome. Warlock should be really excited. I think you have the best grapple melee combo right now because, like I said, not even the Titan and the Hunter can do that. You would expect the Titan to, but you can't. So, next up, when you consume your Shackle Grenade, it activates the Weaver's Trance. Final blows while Weaver's Trance is activated, create a suspending detonation. So, okay, he's consuming the Shackle Grenade, gets a defeat. And does the explosion just strand players? They suspend them, right? You have 7 seconds. Oh, wow. Can you try that again? See how long it actually lasts. Consume your grenade. How many seconds do you get?
25.
You get 25 seconds to create final blows, and those detonations will suspend targets. You can see the radius from there. Can you kill him now? It doesn't actually get me, but you can kind of get an idea of the ring. They have to be pretty close. Now keep in mind, suspending, just like any other character, will benefit more from fragments that allow the duration or any other effects to further enhance such effect. Consuming your threadling grenade and immediately generate 5 perched threadlings. So here's where things get even more wild. Can you please consume your threadling grenade? As you can see, he gets 5 of those. It looks like the Chaos Emeralds from like Sonic the Hedgehog or something. And the way that you activate these is by just shooting at a target or what? And there you go. They become threadlings and they go attack. Pretty sick, right? And you can take a look at the damage right there. The next thing I want you to see is consuming the threadling grenade and then spawning a rift at the same time afterwards. See what happens. Because that's a combo that Warlocks are going to be able to do. So you consume your nade, pop a rift, and there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is crazy. Let's go ahead and get another example of that. But send it towards my way. I want to see how chaotic this is. Oh my god! Yo, that's kind of terrifying, dude. You're like, holy shit, somebody give me the freaking bug spray or something, dude.
Army.
But you can shoot them quite easily, so it'll be really fun if you can get this to work on somebody that doesn't see them coming. But as I just showed you right now, it's quite easy with an auto rifle. They all kind of just explode. Let me show you with a hand cannon. Oh, wow. So even destroying one kind of destroys a bunch of them. They made it really easy to destroy those threadlings. In my opinion, again, and I might eat those words if they decide to buff them and they're like a super annoying, but they actually might be too easy to shut down, fam. Look at that. Kind of sad about it. People would not struggle to shut that down, but if for whatever reason you catch someone off guard, this is what you can expect. Go ahead. Yo! And they actually will kill the player. Let's talk about the melee Arcane Needle. Similar to the Titan, you actually get 3 melee charges. Now, let's take a look at the damage. How much damage does it do against a player? You're doing 68, and you unravel them. So that means when you defeat them, you're actually going to make a tangle. And the beautiful thing is, when you do damage to these suspended targets, they create these things that are pretty much like nanites, and they will damage other targets and get them also unraveled. You shoot those players, and they will also spread to other targets, you know, thus increasing your potential to make more tangles and whatnot. So the melee states that you can activate your melee ability again to chain up to 2 additional attacks. So let's see what that looks like on this player. Send 1, send 2, send 3. So 3 of them will kill somebody. And honestly, the combination doesn't really seem anything too crazy. Like, it just seems like it's for the flashiness of it. Let's take a look again. Maybe it goes faster. We'll take a look. I'm going to spam all 3 of them as fast as I can. Okay. So it indeed does go a little bit faster when you try to chain on the melees together. So with Strand right now, let's take a look at the range of this melee attack. Can you come towards the middle over here? This Warlock melee fits the identity where you usually map players. You can actually go pretty far range. Let's take a look even further. And it goes in a pretty straight line as well. What about if the target is strafing left to right? Will it track to them? It does seem like it does. It won't do max damage from the looks of it. Okay. So it seems quite consistent. The closer they are, the more consistent it would be. Let's try that again. I'm going to get my 3 melee charges. And let's see if I can get at least 2 out of 3 of these melee charges to lock on to the player. And for the most part, it seems you can at least get 2 of them. Kind of gives you an idea of what to expect from the Warlock melee. All right, how far can I be away from target to get this melee to lock on? So the tracking isn't going to be something aggressive. You do have to be on point. Unfortunately for the Warlocks, you do have to aim, because otherwise they will just curve around the target and won't actually register. But that gives you an idea how far you can kind of aim down. Let's take a look at the super called Needle Storm. This is going to be a panic super. We should expect it to one-shot players. It says you conjure a hail of deadly woven needles. After embedding themselves in the environment, the needles will reweave into a host of threadlings. Threadlings you create will return to you and perch if they can't find any nearby targets. Damaging nearby targets with your weapons or melee will send out perch threadlings to attack. So, if you're like me, your question is, how many of these can you actually get perched on you? I'm going to go ahead and super here on the side before I go to the players. So they couldn't find anybody. And now I have about 5. You're maxed out at 5, ladies and gentlemen. That is the max amount of threadlings you can have. And if I pop super, they go loose. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's take a look at what happens if I, pop a super at a pair of enemies here.
Your moments of clarity are weapons, Warlock.
Oh, wow. That is wild. If you manage to defeat a target, and for whatever reason someone is barely catching up, those threadlings will jump at them. But keep in mind, they can easily destroy them.
2 for 1. 3 opponents down.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome.
Hear that?
Here we have the perch threadlings again. Okay, so it does have a little bit of an animation. You do have to worry about people trying to run away from your super, but most often than not, you will catch them. Let's try again. I'm not going to give you too much time. 3, 2, 1, go. And it will track around the corner pretty well. It does have some good tracking in case people do manage to find cover. Speaking of cover, I want to see what it's like against a player behind cover. What is the damage explosion like? Try to sit behind this brick. If I just super behind, and it won't actually do anything, but if the player fails at shooting these threadlings, he will still die to those little AI. Now, I want to see what it's like against a Well of Radiance. Let's go ahead and pop a super against it. And it will actually one-shot him pretty quickly. My question is, if you get on the well, does my threadlings kill you? Let's try this. It won't do enough damage, so make that note. What about if there's 2 players on the well? It seems like you don't even need the entire super to actually kill 1 person off the well. What about a Titan bubble? Can we get a Titan bubble popped in the center? Let's go ahead and just pop the super against the shield. Can we pop it and kill him? So it seems like the super will actually not pop the bubble. What if I go inside the bubble and try to pop on him? So it killed someone, but not the Titan. Go ahead and pop again. It seems like an incredibly difficult super to get correctly inside of a Titan bubble. So that's something to keep in mind. This is how anybody would use it. If you can pop it like immediately as soon as you step into the bubble, you can get them to land on him and it will kill. The problem is the ongoing momentum and the aiming of it that will make it incredibly difficult to kill the Titan inside the bubble. Otherwise, the most consistent way would be to just walk, pause, and then pop. But that makes it incredibly easy. So it still gives you a forward momentum. So something to keep in mind. That is going to be something a lot of Warlocks will find issues with because of that forward momentum when you pop your super. Unless you step out and kind of just pop it outside of the bubble while you move forward. Let's try that technique. Nah, it still seems quite difficult to pull off. So my best advice is you have to make sure you pop that super just in the inside edge of that bubble. Otherwise, for whatever reason, that forward momentum will make it incredibly difficult to properly land the projectiles. But the Well of Radiance, it was really easy to shut down. Really easy. All right. I want to take a look at what it's like trying to kill a roaming super. Stress or Tick, do you have a Dawn Blade?
You're a lot
All
better than I
right.
am.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Seems like it's, you know, quite difficult for a player to try to dodge that. And the range. Okay, that is a weakness I just noticed. What about the range on this? Can you get a little bit further away?
I can feel that in my bones.
What about a moving target at range? Can you send on that brick over there?
Strafe. Okay.
Okay, so they will track from a pretty far distance, so you don't have to worry about the super whiffing at a larger distance. All right, what about shutting me down out of a super? Do you have a shotgun on, Tick? I'm gonna pop my super and I want you to try to like shotgun melee me. So from the looks of it, you have enough DR to survive a shotgun melee. We could try that again. Go. That was another shotgun melee, right? Unless you already took some previous damage and you try to panic pop on somebody, you will have to be smart about that. But if you pop in front of somebody's face, the beautiful thing is I don't think you take any damage from your own super. Nope, you do not. So very different from something like Nova Bomb, because I believe Nova Bomb will actually damage you and actually get you killed if you're too weak and you die to the, you know, the Architects or whatever. That pretty much covers the Warlock Strand super.